Is that so? That's wonderful news. You're too kind. You are the true heroes, spilling blood and sweat on the front lines to face the enemy. My role, as assigned by Paradisos, is to support you in every way possible. Well, the core base is now secure, and the entire defense grid has been successfully activated. It's time to focus on the front lines. There's limited scope for intel operations now. Going forward, the underground forces will spring into action. That's where the real struggle begins. I have other crucial tasks to attend to as well. Good luck out there, heroes of Dis. Certainly. Your assessment is spot on. Locating him is our foremost priority at this moment. Either we capitalize on this moment to fully reform him into someone trustworthy, or we eradicate this latent threat altogether. Paradisos must locate him before the underground becomes aware. Neither FAC, MBCC, the Ninth Agency, nor even Hush can directly intervene. The objective would be far too transparent, and the underground would inevitably detect it. They should remain focused on the front lines. The August offensive serves as our optimal subterfuge. As for the remainder, entrust it to me. I know precisely whom to engage for the task. Plans have already been formulated for his retrieval. Consider this my ultimate, flawlessly executed mission.
Oh, has the grand operation come to a successful close?
Welcome, Mentor. We've located the Undergrounder, adorned with unsettling blooms. Your handiwork, I presume?
Don't mention it. You all owe me more thanks than you could imagine. If it weren't for my gentle nudge, that FAC Commander-in-Chief and those junior commanders wouldn't have even made it to the battlefield. So, shouldn't the highest honor for this West District defense operation go to me?
Absolutely. You're nothing short of remarkable. Taking on the Underground's most crucial assignment, you've plunged headlong into the fiercest zones of conflict for both sides. After stirring the pot, you subtly redirected the chaos back towards your own client. Ultimately, you've broken the chains that have been choking you for so long. It's a delicate balancing act, but you've managed it well. No wonder you've been able to move so freely between Paradisos and the Underground for years. Seeing as you've severed all ties with the Underground, would you consider aligning with me?
Really? Is it possible? Would you forgive me? Accept us? I can't go on pretending any longer. It's this pathetic guard again. You had some spirit last time I saw you. What happened? Did my blade snuff out that spirit, turning you into her lapdog? I still remember vividly what happened to her last lapdog. So, what's the deal with that airhead? Dead, or just cried her eyes out? And people still buy into your nonsense after seeing that? What, did you brainwash them or something?
You sure live without a care, settling scores as if it's nothing. Most people wouldn't dare. They'd fear accumulating enemies, endangering those they care about. The steep price of revenge. What's your take? Does it not bother you? And what about your garden?
You're talking about the unending chain of hatred, aren't you? When will this cycle of vengeance ever break? Is your point to value those who stand before us now? I am the master of the garden, the head of assassin group. People seeking vengeance flock to me in droves, just as countless others beseech me to exact revenge on their behalf. And you're talking to me about hatred? Would you spare me your harassment because I am just and kind? No. The only reason you'd hesitate is the knowledge that crossing my path means certain death. This world has never been kind to us just because I tread carefully and abide by the rules. The only things that grant us the freedom to truly live are raw power and the principle of an eye for an eye. Shall I teach you this lesson up close and personal?
My apologies. With your strength, you've certainly earned the right to act as you wish. Both Paradisos and the Underground fear your might and madness, dreading the day you'll come to collect their dues. As long as you're alive, neither your garden nor your blooms need to worry about being trampled. If I were you, I'd be more at ease, more reassured, just as you used to be. You've always struck a fine balance between the two. If so, why this sudden impatience? Both sides are on the brink of war, and yet, you've not only chosen not to sidestep the conflict, you've thrown yourself into it. You accepted a contract from the Underground to challenge the Paradisos, and now, you're turning their own blade back on them. It's as if you're determined to sever every tie that binds your garden, come what may. Your extraordinary strength has been traded for your life, hasn't it? Just how many days do you have left, Mentor?
Are you wishing for my death? How uncouth. I'll have you know, my days are numbered higher than yours.
Just a question. Is it that I hit the nail on the head? I remember Seagal, the Undergrounder. She was the only one who managed to consistently evade Hush during the whole chase. According to the reports, she's either mastered some kind of spatial powers, or she's tapped into the underground mania magic. That's your reward for taking on this mission, right? Once the mission's complete, she'll show you how to perfectly conceal the garden.
Feel free to guess. But even if you guessed it, you're incapable of deciphering the arcane arts of the underground. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been groping in the dark for years, failing to even locate the entrance. Losers.
You're right. Paradisos doesn't have the same mastery over mania as the underground, making it impossible for them to locate the garden. Besides, your blooms have all become experts at concealment. Within the finite life you have, you've gone to great lengths to pave their path. Mentor, you possess a finesse and a softer side that's even greater than you realize. Truly commendable.
You make me sick. I only act in my own interest. I accepted this garden because they're good at serving me. It pleases me.
You're right. They do love you very much, even more profoundly than you realize. In Erica Villa, merely mentioning you makes Garofano barge in without a second thought. Out of all the misinformation we provided, she's most intrigued by the technology that enables control over mania to help extend lifespan. Your flowers must be growing increasingly anxious. Did you fill them in on the details of this mission? When was the last time you went back and saw them? It's been long enough that the mere trickle of information I released about you sent eager young fools rushing to investigate.
Are these...
You know, they want to protect you just as much. I have my regrets, but you've accumulated too many enemies on this path. Once the order reached me, there was no turning back. You can't shield them alone, not forever. Some things are simply fated.